All right, guys, and remember it's Tobago Thursday, so we're going across the Tobago. A nice initiative that has been started by this new Chief Secretary of the Tobago House of Assembly, Farley Augustine, is to have a student to shadow him for a day. And the first student that has been chosen, Adriel Wheeler from Speyside High School, is here to talk to us this morning about getting this grand opportunity to see what the Chief Secretary is up to for an entire day. Good morning to you, Adriel.
Good morning, Miss Legore. Good morning to all those in studio. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you so much for having me.
You're most welcome, Adriel. Thank you for being with us here this morning. So, just tell us a little bit about Adriel. Who is Adriel Wheeler?
Well, Adriel Wheeler is a 16-year-old Speyside High School student. I'm currently in fifth form. Recently, I would have launched my very own NGO. Its name is Youths Transcending Boundaries. Here in Speyside, I currently serve as the Youth Assemblyman for Palatouvier, Rans for me Speyside. I am a certified youth ambassador. I have a passion for youth advocacy, but in general, I'm a relaxed person who enjoys spending time with family and close friends.
Mm, sounds like a well accomplished young man to me. When I was 16, the only thing I think I was still looking to play with a dolly at 16 years old. So, Adriel, how does it feel to be chosen as the first student to shadow the chief secretary for a day?
Well, Miss Lego, I must say that I am humbled, and it is indeed an excellent opportunity, you know, to be in to share such a space with the Honorable Fali Chavez Augustine. I do look forward to the experience and the impact that it would have on Tobago's young people, and by extension, people in the Caribbean region. I am excited to actually have that opportunity to work with the chief secretary and I guess other secretaries that may be within the various divisions.
Yeah. Can you walk us through how you were chosen? What the process was like? How did they determine, okay, starting with Speyside High or, starting with Adriel Wheeler?
Well, Ms. Lago, I really cannot speak for the chief secretary
Yeah.
because you see, the thing is, he actually made the announcement when he came to deliver a speech at the launch of Youth Transcending Boundaries, which happened on the 16th of January. So, yes, it was a bit surprising. I really don't want to put words in the chief secretary's mouth. I am really not certain why Adriel Wheeler would have been chosen, but given this opportunity, I can guarantee that I will ensure that I represent the youths of not only Palatouvier Islands for me Speyside, but all young persons here in Tobago so that they'll have a voice and a seat at the table.
So then talk to us about that. What are some of the things you think you may want to ask the chief secretary or things you may want to advocate for on behalf of the youth of Tobago?
Well, first of all, seeing that I'm coming out of Speyside High School, I must speak to the fact that we need better connectivity at the school. COVID-19 would have thrown us into this new world, which we call the new normal. And, it's all about having we're experiencing a mix here in learning. So sometimes we're going to be asynchronous. And what asynchronous classes basically means is that from time to time we'll have to meet online. And as a result of that, Ms. Lego, it is important that we have stable connectivity in order to not have interruptions during class sessions. So one of the things that I'll certainly advocate for is for improved connectivity at our schools. In addition to that, when we look at Speyside, it is one of the most historic villages in Tobago. We have the biggest brain coral. In addition to that, we have the water wheel. So I'd like to propose the construction of an information center right here in Speyside, whereby when we do have that tourist influx, we'll be able to educate persons on the importance of the brain coral, how the history behind the wheel. And yes, I must also look at infrastructure as well because we have some roads. Yes, we need some improving in that area. And while some may argue that how does this affect youth? We need to also remember the elderly. And if it is that if being a young person, I must advocate for my parents, my grandmother, I'll certainly do that. In addition to that, Miss Lego, I know we have limited time, but I really want to share my plans. I'll also like to propose the implementation of a youth business center. We have many young persons that are involved in business, but it is important that they actually have that avenue to advertise.
Yeah, but you know that the THA has a division that can help people to get grants, to get loans, to develop their entrepreneurial spirit. There is also, I think I saw Mr. Augustine talking about, uh, 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 I think that the acronym was SMART, to show me a road to fix or something like that, where
Yes,
they're going to be
yes.
developing an app or something where people can just say, okay, right here, this particular location, in this zone, in this area, needs some attention. So I like the idea that you think these are things that you need to raise with him. But in terms of advocacy for the youth, apart from connectivity, have you had any discussions with your friends at school about what are some of the things that they think, specific to the youth that they would like the chief secretary to address?
I know a lot of them spoke to employment, and given the fact that we're in fifth form, very soon we're going to be on that quest to find a job. And in the Tobago space, we have been experiencing this issue for a very long time, whereby we have qualified individuals, but we lack employment opportunities. So what I'll propose to the chief secretary when I do have the opportunity to sit with him and to sit at his meetings is the implementation of programs that would foster youth development and that would enable young persons to gain experience so that when they actually go into the world of work, they'll already have that knowledge so that they'll be able to operate effectively. So we need more employment opportunities for our young persons. And as a result of that, what that means is that we're going to need to improve our private sector. So yes, I must propose that to the chief secretary. And when I say propose, I am talking about a well-written proposal so that we'll have the pros and cons, and I'll lay out all the suggestions and all of that
You
so
know,
that we'll
I
be
was
able to
about
move
I
forward.
was about to raise that with you because I was thinking to myself that I would imagine that for the entire day the chief secretary is going to be on the go. So the idea of sitting and being able to just, take an hour to chat with you,
Yes,
it may exist, it may not exist, we don't know as yet. But I'm happy that you're
exactly.
going to be writing those proposals so that there's something on file. He can always go back to it even if he can't address it immediately. But Adriel,
Yes.
as the first person chosen to shadow the chief secretary, what do you think this will do for the psyche of students in Speyside or even students right across Tobago? Do you think it's something that may, inspire them?
Well, that has always been Adriel Wheeler's aim, to inspire fellow young persons. I'm all about, which is why I would have named my NGO Youths Transcending Boundaries. I'm all about overcoming obstacles. I'm all about uh, surmounting stereotypes. And as a result of that, I do expect a lot of young persons to become inspired. And it's really all about building confidence. And as a result of that, I believe that when young persons actually see someone that are around their age, they'll definitely become inspired and they'll be ready and willing to enter in the next taking.
Yeah, I'm wondering if this opportunity will make you want to get into politics after seeing the work of the chief secretary.
Well, Miss Legore, to be honest with you, I've never seen myself as a politician. I have a long list of interests indeed, but politics has never really been one of them. But I am one who moves on the counsel of the Almighty, and wherever God takes me, I'll definitely walk in that path.
All right, Adriel, well, I'm looking forward to this visit with the chief secretary. Do you know as yet what date it's scheduled for?
Well, I have not been notified as yet, but as soon as I am notified, I'll let you know.
All right. All right, Adriel, all the best with this opportunity. Use it wisely. Pay attention. Look at what politicians do and how they do it and see what, and if you need to pinch the chief secretary, during one of those meetings, just pinch him and tell him, no, Mr. Chief Sec. So go breathe.
Thank you very much, Mr. Legore. And it was an honor to meet you. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you very much, Trinidad and Tobago.
You're most welcome. And do say good morning to the parents for me. All right, Adriel Wheeler there.